Legends. It is going to be Ninjas in Pyjamas as the blue team and MeetYourMakers as the red team. Let's see how this one plays out. We're on 3.8 patch, ladies and gentlemen, which does mean we are seeing a Doran's Ring straight away from Sharu on that mid lane, as well as the health pots, because remember, the price has changed, the jungle has changed, all manner of changes. You would have seen it in the North American LCS last week, as well as last night at MLG. Some pretty crazy games happened there. We'll see whether we get the same here in Europe.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of new champions that can be played now in middle lane with the Doran's Ring change, which I'm sure we're going to see later on. I'm not going to spoil it just yet because I got some inside information for some teams, but it definitely widens what you can do. But we do see NIP, they're trying to go for some sort of invade. It looks like they really just want to get a ward down and really try to spot where Mackler and Libic are.
We're seeing Kubon's going to walk straight around the corner, spots immediately Bjergsen, and Maluno quickly reacts to walking away from that one. See, Damash's standard has been taken by Maluno early on, and the invade is on. They do put the ward in towards that bush. Sharu just around the side there, throws out the charm. They catch up towards Extinct. They're going to bounce him in the air. Can they catch him out? The exhaust is down. One more hit will be enough. There he goes. It's first blood to Kubon.
Libic totally just won that fight right there with that dark wind. He silenced all 5 of them right there, and they're still chasing them down, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that. But wow, that was just perfect for Libic. That was a great initiation. And NIP, I guess they didn't really kind of expect that, though. It is a Fiddlesticks.
Fantastic start from them. It was Ninjas in Pyjamas that went the aggressive. They did get their wards down, but now their jungle is in trouble. MeetYourMakers coming in towards the blue buff.
But also, take a look at Summoners real quick, because MeetYourMakers committed way more than NIP did. So yeah, they lost first blood, which is a big deal, to be honest, but they still have a lot of Summoners available. So this makes it so if Maluno wants to, he can gank quite a few lanes.
Strange ward placement from Libic there. He wants to get full vision all around the corner there. He doesn't put it in the bush. Doesn't look like the blue buff is going to get taken away. You see Deficio sat ready and waiting. He's waiting for Maluno to come over at the red buff. So it's going to be a slower start for him. Makato's going to take it smiteless here as well. So he's going to go straight for his red buff. We'll see whether their blue buff does get stolen away. You can see there's a red ward on there from MeetYourMakers, and we are going to have a 2v1 in the top lane and the bottom lane. Yeah,
it doesn't look like he's going to be able to steal that blue away just yet, but they will be able to spot him with that ward. And that was a perfect thing to point out, that Maluno, he got late to his red buff, so he's going to be a little bit slower here, and that chance of probably invading and taking away the blue is now gone. But yes, with these 1v2 lanes happening yet again, it should... Actually, let me think about it a little bit just to see which team's actually going to benefit from it too much. But we do see Nefisto actually going for a ward here. So it looks like they're going to go for blue.
Are they going to try and react? Yes, they are. Kubon is coming around through the tri-bush. You can see Makato coming in now as well. He has got his smite still available, and he is going to try and cause some problems. It is only Maluno and Deficio. The AD carry not coming to help just yet. Freeze is sticking in that lane, trying to keep the CS going. And it was looking like Makato that managed to use that smite and steal it off him.
Yeah, so it looked like Freeze actually wanted to push lane very quickly just to deny a lot of CS and a lot of levels away from Kubon. So we'll see how well that's actually going to work out, as they currently are equal at this point. But I'm trying to think which lane will actually benefit quite well, because if you're a Draven, you want a lane you can farm in quite easily. If you fall behind, you kind of stay behind, and your early game presence is really, really strong, as Kubon already sees it popping those health pots right away.
And something that we kind of alluded to at the start is the fact that Extinct did stay on Diana. He is taking Diana in that top lane, which means it will be Bjergsen once again on Kennen in that main lane. We saw him playing Kennen before. I think it was in Moscow, I believe.
He's played it twice, I believe.
100% convinced by it, honestly, compared to some of the champions we've seen Bjergsen on.
Yeah, that's the downside of Kennen. So if you get shut down early on, your whole AoE ultimate doing a lot of damage, really being threatening, kind of diminishes. It kind of just disappears. So Bjergsen, hopefully this time, he'll be able to, keep up and farm. He'll be able to do quite well, as Maluno just gonna stick around. The normal, 3:30, 4-minute push just to kind of soak up some experience and make sure Extinct can't get pushed out of lane.
You can see there's a big wave there. He was spotted by the ward, so they knew he was coming. There was nothing sneaky about it. You can see, actually, MeetYourMakers have really good presence so far with their wards, keeping an eye on everything that is happening. Let's have a look towards the CS. You can see the AD carries 25 to 23, both in the top and bottom lane. They're still in different lanes, but keeping it very much even between them. The mid lane, it is actually Bjergsen with a slight advantage right now over Sharu. Sharu has just gone back to buy, got himself a second Doran's Ring and a ward. We'll see where he pokes that one out there. We also see Makato, he's making his way down towards his bottom lane. He's got himself that Spirit Stone already, and a pink ward picked up for the jungler. We'll see whether he places that anywhere down that riverway.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now, as you see, Libic going to put a ward there, is that junglers, they haven't really been interactive right now so far. They haven't been able to, get into a lane to gank because of the ward coverage. We do see Makato heading down bottom. He does have that pink ward, like you mentioned, so he might actually try to clear out the vision, as he's actually going to get caged upon.
He's going to get in there. Freeze going very aggressive. Aqua Prison wasn't available to land on him. He just dredge lines away.
Look at that damage, though. That was half his life in 2 hits from Freeze. That just shows shows you the power of Draven Nami, as he's going to still stick around here. And taking a look, I mean, the top laners, quote-unquote, are still even in CS.
Let's have a look towards them. We do see Freeze keeping the pressure on. Dawn's shield was picked up by Kuban. Along with that, regrowth pendant. Actually, Extinct getting a piercing arrow coming across from Makler there, keeping the pressure on. And in terms of CS, we are starting to see a gap growing here for Freeze in this bottom lane. Starting to keep some pressure on. Ironically, him and Bjergsen on exactly the same CS right now.
That's kind of a scary thing right now. If he keeps widening this gap a little bit further, he's applying a lot of pressure to Zach right now. And because of that pressure, he's actually making it so, Extinct's not falling too far behind, as he does use his teleport top lane. So Charu, he's the only one that has a teleport available right now. He's going to be level 6 relatively soon, so he might be able to interact with another lane.
Charm being flung out from Charu, but didn't quite land on Bjergsen. That would have caused problems for them. Pink Ward actually did get placed in that bottom lane. Extinct, though, he's in trouble in his top lane. Makler putting pressure on towards him. Piercing arrow comes across as well. Took a good chunk of his health down, considering he's only just returned to that lane. He's having to chug down that crystalline flask. Bottom lane also, Pink Ward was replaced. We saw it was Makata that put his Pink Ward in the bottom bush. Immediately, that has been overwritten by Deficio.
It's a battle of the Pink Wards. It's going to be going on around, but Maluno, he's going to visit this top lane. He wants to make sure Extinct doesn't get pushed out, and just like you said, returned to lane, got knocked down to below half health here, and it's not a good sign for him, but that turret's still very healthy right now.
Pretty much even between the bottom lanes, though. We see the junglers coming in. Makata trying to sneak in towards that, but again, Deficio ready and waiting. I'm not sure they're in any position to try and create something. I think this is simply Makata trying to relieve some pressure for Kuban.
And this is actually a really cool sign of NIP. So they're being very aggressive bottom because they want to force Makati to visit there. They want to force him. Oh, we see Char teleporting our top.
Here he comes. He's going to come around the side. We're going to see two people. They've already pushed the wave up. Charm, balls go out there. Hasn't used the charm just yet. Lands it on towards Extinct. There's the exhaust. That's going to be Extinct going down. And that is going to be the second kill for MeetYourMakers. Or will the tower be enough? Yes, it will. Extinct taking Makler down. Complete error there by MeetYourMakers. But they may well try and return kill on towards Maluno. Or will they get pressure on it? They're going to go for the tower, but now the fact that Makler's not there, they can't get the turret.
But you do see Freeze and Deficio coming in. If Maluno can make something happen, if he can ult in here, they can do something.
He's going to jump on towards Libic. Libic just out of range of that tower, though. The life drain coming down from Maluno. He's going to just keep him away, and Libic should be able to escape with his life here. He's going to have the Damascus down, and knock-up forces the flash away from Libic, and Charu throwing out the orbs and not quite catching on. But we do see Ninjas in Pyjamas. They rotated that lane.
Yes, they did. So it looks like they want to go up against this AD support combo, but I'm pretty sure they're going to rotate bottom, as we do already see that happening on the minimap. But like I was mentioning before, our NIP was being very aggressive bottom because they wanted to keep Makata there. They wanted to let Bjergsen get this free farm. As you see right now, 21 CS advantage at this point. They want to allow him to get strong, as he's still up about 250 gold at this point, and that's what they needed to do. As long as Bjergsen gets strong, as long as he's not getting camped, he's going to be very, very hard to deal with.
So Kuban changing and replacing Charu in that top lane. Charu will, of course, head back down towards that mid. But as you mentioned, he's missed out on so much CS. He didn't get the assist. He didn't get the kill, though. But let's have a look what items are coming out. We see the BF sword for Freeze. He would have gone for that full aggression. Bjergsen actually catching on to Charu as he passes by that ward just by the Wraiths. Meanwhile, actually looking at Makler, he went for the Bilgewater Cutlass, going to get towards that runic as Blade of the Rune King, Runic Bulwark. I've said it so many times. I said it in Moscow. It's Blade of the Rune King that he's going for.
And it's gonna be a very good item. It gets that little bit of speed that he's gonna need against Bjergsen to keep away from. Not to mention Extinct, who is actually going pretty much tank at this point. He has that Negatron Cloak. Looks like he will go for the Abyssal Scepter here relatively soon. But we do see actually the AD carry supports, they're going to meet up here bottom lane, and Extinct's finally going to get that freedom, as well as Kuban to go for something.
Well, Charu's going to get engaged on Barney. He's going to get slid. As stun comes down, and just like that, Charu goes down. Bjergsen beautifully played here. Maluno, of course, mixing in. That does mean the blue buff's in all sorts of trouble. And honestly, that bottom lane, that's going to get engaged upon as well. We see Makler trying to back away from this one. Libic's going to get caught out. There's spinning axes doing damage. Chain of Corruption, though, back on towards him. Freeze. Will they have enough to catch on towards him? Will Deficio better save him? Throws out the heal. And just like that, he gets away with it. Now that progression turned back on towards him, Freeze is just going to lifesteal himself up. Blue buff was also taken away. And now we're seeing Ninja Pyjamas. They're pushing on towards the bottom turret.
What a perfect job by NIP right there between Bjergsen and Maluno to combo that in there and go for that kill. They got the stun perfectly on Charu right as he was trying to escape, and the knockup, so there's no way that was going to happen. And now it looks like NIP, they're going to take the first turret of the game.
Pressure completely being applied by Ninjas in Pyjamas, and how many times have we seen this? MeetYourMakers, they struggle. If they do not get that first tower first, they are in trouble, and we'll see how they react to this one. We do see Deficio coming around, putting down that pink ward, trying to take away everything, every bit of vision that MeetYourMakers have. And we do see Freeze. One more hit will be enough for the turret. Mackler's going to get caught out, slides in, but the fear comes out straight away on Maluno. Maluno now in trouble. Makata trying to get in towards him. Does manage to land the dredge line. Mackler keeping the pressure down, but there's the big wave being surfed out by Deficio, and everybody will back away from this one. We see Charu, though. He's heading down the river. Will they catch on towards him? Nautilus throwing his ultimate towards Maluno. Charu has got his ultimate available if he wants to dive in. Flash is in. I tell a lie, he hasn't, which why he flashed, tried to land the charm, wasn't enough. Nothing being picked up by MeetYourMakers here.
And if you remember back to what MeetYourMakers does in all their games, they like to put a lot of aggressive wards into the enemy jungle. But right now, because NIP got that bottom turret, they're able to ward up the enemy jungle here and really apply this pressure. Bjergsen's been left alone middle lane. His CS difference is getting even further, and he has a nice large rod right now.
While this is happening, Charu going to get caught out again there. Throws out the charm towards Bjergsen. Doesn't pull him in enough. What I was about to call is the top lane. Extinct actually falling behind on Kuban as they've had that one-on-one period for some time up there. It is just back to a 10 CS, but that's going to stretch again as Kuban seems to start to bully out Extinct here. Extinct just going back to buy.
To be honest, it's worth it. Maluno is not visiting Extinct right now to help him out. He didn't. The only time he visited the lane was just to help him out, make sure he didn't get pushed out of lane right away. But they're like, you know what? Leave Extinct on an island. They've done that before with Godbro when he gets ahead. And then just help Bjergsen, help Freeze get ahead, which currently they're at right now. And they're going to be so strong even if Extinct doesn't get you know, that early CS advantage.
We see Bjergsen back in that mid lane with that blue buff. Throwing those shurikens at Charu, still not landing them. We've seen Charu so impressive on Ali right now. Maluno is looking to try and come around the side. He's making sure he clears out them minions as quick as possible. And Maluno realizes that and straight away backs off.
But look at the ward coverage, though. It's very spot on. Now Bjergsen, he won't get ganked for pretty much any lane at this point or any side because of the coverage that he has. And that allows Freeze and Deficio to push up bottom lane if they want to. He's releasing the top lane yet again. Kuban, he's like a brick wall right now. He's not being pushed out. Extinct is having a tough time as he's backing away from lanes more than actually sitting in them.
In terms of CS, Bjergsen's built up such a big advantage. The fact he's got that needed to large rod, he's doing damage. 112 to 82, 30 CS gap already. Charu been trying to create those plays with that teleport. As of yet, not too successful. Did manage to get one up the top lane, but it looks like MeetYourMakers are trying to set up the Dragon here, Jason.
Yeah, this is really interesting because NIP in the entirety of the summer split of LCS have only gotten 5 Dragons. They've given up 24, and this might be the 25th.
You can see them putting pressure on there, not really anything happening. It is the top lane going down as well to Kuban, so 2 big advantages. Oh, Maluno trying to see if he can steal it with the Dragon Strike. We see Bjergsen also catching in towards that Aqua Prison on towards Makati, just slid away. We do see Livic also throwing out his Crow Storm. Is it going to be enough? Mackler taking very low. He's going to get dropped. The wave's going to come through. That catches on towards Charu. There's going to be the spinning blades as well, but Livic looks like he's going to escape this one with his life. That was 2 kills for Ninjas in Pyjamas, and it looks like they're going to steal away that Dragon.
And you have to give NIP credit. Not, you know, I don't want to speak too soon, but they never contested Dragon in the summer split of LCS, but there they finally did. They felt comfortable doing it, and they're going to pick up the first Dragon in the game, and it takes them finally to 6 the entirety of LCS, which is honestly not that good at this point. It's actually the lowest amount.
Well, 2.8k gold. They're going to turn to see if they can push for their second turret of the game in the mid lane. 5 members there. Extinct is going to be taking away the blue buff as well. He's got a giant wave of creeps he's going to deal with on that top lane, so it means that there's going to be 4 members of MeetYourMakers trying to defend this mid one, but you can see the turret already very low. Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to just go for this one. Cataclysm comes out, jumping on towards Livic, and Maluno having to jump away from that one. He's caught out very, very deep there. There's going to be Makata catching on towards him. Kuban will pick up the kill, and a bit of a mistake suddenly made by Ninjas in Pyjamas. Very aggressive play from Maluno.
And that might have been the synergy we were talking about early on, that little bit of lack of it, or might be coming short, is that Maluno went in when the rest of the team wanted to back away. The turret was so low on health, they weren't able to get it, and now MeetYourMakers, they're going to go for a pusher on this turret, and they should be able to get it, to be honest.
Well, they don't have their AD carry
teleport
with
behind
them
him from Extinct.
Mackler's there, the teleport is coming in from Extinct. He's just picked up the blue buff, let's see where it goes, but the charm lands straight away. Unfortunately, the dredge line's not going to land in there. Freeze manages to take down Makata. Extinct tries to pull in Livic. He should have enough to finish him off. Bjergsen's going to come in. He throws the shuriken, picks up the kill, and just like that, another 2 kills for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And look where their kill spread is right now, Demon. That is very scary. So you have all the kills minus the one on Deficio to your carries at this point. Bjergsen's 3-0-2, and we've seen it past how many times how strong you can be, but they're still going for the turret. They do get it, and Bjergsen actually took a lot of damage for that.
Aqua Prison on Kuban there, but Kuban ready to launch himself away from that. I was just thinking, MeetYourMakers, why are they being so defensive on a turret that's going to go down in 1 hit? And they do manage to escape with their lives, though. So we see everyone from Ninjas in Pyjamas, they're going to go back to buy. We'll see what items start popping in, Jason.
See, I want to see what this whole last week of practice is done for MeetYourMakers. In particular, when they fall behind, how do they come back? That's one of the things that teams have the hardest doing besides closing out games, like, you know, the two opposites. And so far, they're trying to defend some objectives. They're trying to play like this is a normal scrim for them, which a lot of teams didn't do. Like, Alta and MYM are the only teams to do it at this point, where they realize it's an LCS game, but they don't play super differently than they do from a scrim, where they might play a little bit more safe sometimes, which we saw yesterday in the NA LCS at MLG, just how being aggressive and how being ballsy can really help you win.
We do see aggression coming out from Ninja Pyjamas. Kuban is backing off. I think Extinct may well let him go. Instead, they probably could take the turret down here, the two combined. Diana going in. And it does mean that the mid lane has been left exposed for a short period. We've seen Freeze is going to cover that one off. We'll see if Ninja Pyjamas do manage to take down this turret. Easy for me to say. I don't know where those Pyjamas. Maybe I went all American for a moment there. But and we do see Freeze. He should be able to defend out this mid lane. Though there is 3 members of MeetYourMakers, it's starting to get a little bit dangerous once Makata shows himself up. But he's just not been as effective on Nautilus here as he has been on Shen. And you think, oh, and he's in trouble. He's going to dredge line the hell away from there. Bjergsen still might be able to catch the stun down here. I think he should be able to walk away from it.
Yeah, and Makata not being effective is all due to how NIP played that bottom lane by being very aggressive, forcing to be down there. Charu should be able to get this this turret here, or at least get on the next wave. He does have teleport available, so he could get in middle. He actually could teleport behind him at the Wraith Camp if he wanted to, coming from behind and make some sort of play happen. But NIP, they're grouping up here middle. They want that turret.
And they've got to be careful because Kuban's going to be launching himself from that side as well. Piercing arrow and hail of arrows clearing out the wave. Mackler having no problem, just bringing the free farm to him effectively, which has actually got him back into it. He was falling behind in terms of CS to Freeze, but definitely got himself back in the action. Charu may well be able to take down this bottom turret. You can see he's been down here for a long period of time, yeah, and he will take it. Freeze not really wanting a piece of that, leaves it to the minions, and that actually does take the turrets all square at 2-2. MeetYourMakers now going to stack up on their mid turret. The ping's already coming down. Deficio is like, hey guys, kind of need help here. I'm not too sure whether you guys have reacted to this one, but Mackler, he's saying, nah, I'm going to go back and buy.
Yeah, luckily for them, they went back and bought. But Charu, like, the whole idea of him going down bottom is he has teleport available and Extinct doesn't. So they took advantage of that in every way they possibly could. They got a turret off of that, but Extinct's teleport will be up relatively soon, and I don't think NIP will let their turret go like that.
So let's have a look across the board. Look at the CS though. The big difference, Bjergsen and Charu, it's equal again. They've managed to pull it back because Charu's been off on that side lane, splitting away, so maybe they have started to counter exactly what they need to do. AD carries very much even. Top lane is actually in favor of Kuban because he's been up there for some period of time, did take down that turret. Junglers though, it is all on Maluna. He's been helping, assisting across the map. But in terms of items, what are we looking towards here? You talked about MeetYourMakers being an early game team. They're needing to get some early kills, but honestly, it looks like they're heading for the late game, and it may well work for them. I
see something in particular on NIP side, but let's talk about MYM first, because they have, obviously, the Blade of the Rune King, which we talked about earlier, just to be able to escape, be able to get away. Kuban's going straight tank, because he was put behind in lane relatively early on, so he's pretty much forced into that role, as Makata's kind of doing the same. There is one GP10 on Deficio, as they actually trying to go for Libic here. They might be able to pick up the kill if they get the stun. But he does at least force the flash, which is good because of his ultimate. But Deficio does have one GP10, so he's going to be able to pick up some more wards, pick up maybe some items later on. Charu pushing bottom, but one thing, I should get back to it really in a little bit, because NIP, they're pushing this turret, Charu's still pushing bottom.
Well, Kuban's about to come across from the side. If they were to engage, Extinct, oh, he landed on towards Libic there. Look at that, Charu continuing to push. Cleverly, he's going to teleport in. This is going to be an engage. Kuban goes in. Let's bounce coming out. Bjergsen caught very much deep there. And then straight away on towards Maluna. Maluna went aggressive, but the rest of the team weren't really on the same wavelength. He's going to go down. Charu comes in. He rips Freeze a new one. And straight away, just like that, it was a 3-for-0. MeetYourMakers going to push down the mid.
And it seems like the missed calls are there. Not everyone not having the same mind of exactly where to go. It looks like they're actually going to go for Baron here, which they probably could take. Extinct and Deficio are the only ones alive here to really stop it. And I don't really think they could at this point.
Well, Kuban going very deep. He's going to tank it up for a while. Makata's going to get closer. He's the one that's going to be tanking up. We'll see whether they do go for Extinct, and Deficio are coming in from this one. No ultimates available. Extinct does have his. Maybe he can land the move ball, but not when the charm goes straight in there. He tries to go aggressive. Is he going to cause a problem? He's going to get Makata down. It's actually Deficio that picks up the kill, but that's going to cause problems. The Baron could pick up some kills here. It's going to be Mackler. He gets into tank it just close enough. Libic trying to life drain it. Deficio coming back in. Could he throw the Aqua Prism out? Will it be enough? He gets one down. down, but there's the Baron kill. Now Deficio, he can pick up another kill on Magna here. If he can just get one more damage down, forces the flash straight out, and here comes Maluno. Magna's in trouble, he goes down. So the Baron effectively used this there, and MeetYourMakers lose 3 members just to a support and a jungler.
Wow, that was just so well done by Deficio and Extinct right there. I mean, Extinct, he went and he pulled them together, and he realized this is a very early Baron. 20 minutes in, he knows that MeetYourMakers is not that tanky to deal with it. So NIP, they got Baron buff away from 3 people. They're going to get a middle inner turret off this as well. So in the end, they're going to come out ahead.
You've got to wonder why they didn't just go straight down the mid lane. Bad call being made there, and MeetYourMakers, well, they should have gone for that mid turret, should have just taken the advantages across the map and started to set themselves across. Of course, it's easy for us to say that as we sit here watching it with everything visible. Ninjas in Pyjamas, though, they're picking up another dragon. MeetYourMakers coming in there, but they are too late. It's already gone down, and that gold lead is continuing to be in the favor of Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Okay, so NIP, they're doing a lot better job now of actually trying to take the dragons over and over. They realize that they don't take it too much. In the meantime, MYM, they have them out of position. They're going to get this middle turret off of that. And now that we have... Oh, no, Maluno actually going to get caught here.
Maluno walking straight into Makata in the bush there. Straight face check. It's going to be MeetYourMakers, as you said, taking that mid turret. That's going to take it to 3-3. But more importantly, in the mid turret of MeetYourMakers is down. Gold, just 1,000 between the two. Not too much of a big advantage. Kuban is heading off towards that top. And honestly, he's starting to become a tanky presence.
Yeah, he's 2-0-4. So the Spirit Visage mixed in with the Sunfire Cape is going to be really hard to kind of deal with. But luckily for them, there's something I wanted to point out earlier on NIP's items that I'm not going to be able to get to here, but he's taking Kuban going head-to-head.
Well, Extinct is going in for Kuban, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do a lot about it. It's more of a love tap, I think, than anything else. We did also see blue buff being picked up by Charo, and I think, if memory serves, that's one of the first blue buffs he's been able to get. Looks like Ninjas in Pyjamas going aggressive in this top lane, though.
It looks like they really want it here. Extinct does have teleport available, though he's already there. Makata is the only one here to really help out, so this is a 3-man dive. Looks like they might try to go for a kill here.
Well, they're going to go in towards Makata. They could be able to stun him up. There's the slicing maelstrom. He will go down. It's going to be Extinct that manages to get the kill on Makata there. And we also saw, I think, did he get the assist for that one? No, he didn't. I think he was trying freeze from long range to get the assist. Doesn't matter, Ninjas in Pyjamas take another turret.
Okay, and now it looks like we have a calm moment here. Something I wanted to point on NIP's side. Look at the items that Extinct and Bjergsen are currently running. The Abyssal Scepter, we mentioned a lot earlier on in the game, is really a key item for Extinct and for Bjergsen in particular, because a Kennen, like, you need Azonias, but you also need a lot of penetration items to really help out, really get your damage going. So they're both forced to go Merc Treads to deal with the Fiddlestick Sphere, to deal with the Charm, and not to mention the stuns that obviously the team can put out, but the synergy between the Abyssal Scepter and the Haunting Guys on Bjergsen, it just kind of powers him up a little bit, you know, even more. It makes him do a lot more damage, which that's really where they're focused around. And even Extinct, he's going into the back line. He's trying to make them fear him so the rest of the team can do the damage. In the meantime, MeetYourMakers, they're 4-man pushing top. Makate's not there, which honestly is a really key member to how this fight's going to go.
Livic thrown out, Chain of Corruption landing towards Maluno, but he slides straight away. There's going to be the wave thrown out from Deficio. That's an ult to use, though. Will that give MeetYourMakers the impetus to keep pushing on towards his turret? Maluno wants to be aggressive. Bjergsen doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom available. Charo just around the side. There's a teleport coming in. It's going to be Extinct. Goes aggressive on towards Charo. Charo caught out here. Has to use the ultimate to try and back away from this one. Meanwhile, the rest of MeetYourMakers engaged on in the top lane as well. Flash comes out from Freeze. Going full on aggression. Livic's going to get caught out. He's going to go down. Extinct flashes in towards that one. Kuban just launches himself away. While this is all happening, Charo, he's teleported away to the bottom lane and is just going to keep on clearing those waves. So while that happens, it was a kill for Ninjas in Pyjamas, but nothing really gained from either team.
Actually, if anything, I think NIP lost in the end because of that. Because look right now at the farm difference between the mid laners. Bjergsen was ahead about 40 CS like 5-10 minutes ago. Now he's behind about 50 CS at this point. And that's because Charo's been using his teleport. He's been farming up. And Bjergsen, he hasn't been able to farm anymore. Pretty much the entirety of NIP hasn't because they've been grouping. They've been wanting to cause these team fights, really make them happen, but they haven't been able to.
Kuban wipes the sweat from his brow as the match builds up. 12-7 in kills so far, 24 minutes gone. And still just 2,000 gold between these teams. Very, very tight stuff right now. And lots of summoner spells, actually, and ultimates were burnt in that last exchange. We'll see whether Charo goes aggressive on towards Maluno here. His ultimate will be up in a few seconds. He does manage to land the charm on towards Freeze. Also puts the Deathfire Grasp down. Will it be enough? The Aqua Prison catching beautifully from Deficio there. And that buys Freeze the time. Livic tries to get in towards this one, but he's not in no party mode. Maluno gets in there and Freeze takes him down.
Wow, Deficio, that was amazing. Aqua Prison right there. saved his 80 carries life, was able to turn into a 2-for-0, and honestly, it might turn into an inhibitor turret, and maybe even an inhibitor off of this.
Well, we'll see. They're going to push in. It's going to be 5v3. And Ninjas in Pyjamas are slowly building up all their aggression. Lots of ultimates available for Ninjas in Pyjamas if they were to dive in here. We've already seen Maluno going aggressive and landing that Cataclysm early on. This time around, he has got the rest of the team to back him up, and that is indeed going to be the first inhibitor of the game for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Okay, I gotta point this out, because I'm the stat man now, or at least I'm gonna claim I'm gonna be the stat man now. The team that takes the first inhibitor in the entirety of the spring split and the summer split together wins, or 93% of the time they'll win. So that's a big number to go up against. It's really hard for teams to come back against this, but NIP, what they're gonna do after this, I'm pretty sure, is they're going to push out the lanes, because Baron's going to be up soon. They want to go for that Baron, let that middle lane push in against MeetYourMakers, and then either cause a fight or just get a free Baron off of it.
We'll see how it works out. 1 minute on that Baron, 1 minute on the Dragon, pink ward going down. MeetYourMakers trying to just push out, trying to cause something. They actually see Extinct in the bottom lane, and actually it's Charu heading straight down towards him. We do see also Libic trying to collapse around the sides, but I think Charu is more interested in farming out that giant wave of creeps. And Libic did go down, put that ward down. So it looks like Charu wants to continue that split push down that bottom lane, try and keep all the pressure on them, but it seems to be backfiring every time he does it.
Yeah, I think Extinct can actually 1v1 him quite well right now. So if he goes down bottom lane, you have both teleports there, and that pink ward that Libic put down at Dragon's actually makes me very curious, is because Baron's gonna be up soon in about 30 seconds, and it looks like they want to set up for Dragon and not Baron.
Yeah, just not quite going as adventurous this time around. They already realized that Baron didn't work out so well for them. Extinct is just off the side there, but they do know that Charu's hanging around. The rest of the team are trying to collapse around. A lot of vision in that red buff area, though, so MeetYourMakers have good clearance. They know that the fact that you can see Maluno, Deficio, and Freeze all collapsing towards him.
Okay, so if you look at Bjergsen's boots, he actually got Distortion Enchantment. So that means he's pretty much, him and Maluno are pretty much the big engage for their team. He wants that flash off cooldown as much as possible to make these fights happen. And Dragon right now, I mean, whoever picks it up, it honestly isn't a big lead for them.
Well,
so
it
it's
looks
honestly
like
not
they
really
want to
worth
fight for
it.
it.
And that's the weird thing, is this is not an objective that you want to fight for. Baron is available right now. Leave MeetYourMakers there, go top, go get that that Baron off of them, and you can really just shut them down. Charu, he's waiting on the sidelines, he's in that tri-bush. He wants to really flank them and come from behind, but NIP's not going to let it happen. They're just going to force him by pushing middle.
Exactly. They've got super minions going up the middle. They're just like, well, fine. If you really want this Dragon, then you can have it, because we are going to go straight for your base, try and push you away. They're going to rotate towards that top lane turret. You can see the creep wave already there. MeetYourMakers, they're pinging on it, but honestly, they're just well out of spot, and they tried to get that Dragon. They tried to force it out. Ninja Pyjamas, too clever for them. Going to see if they can pick up a kill here. Libic does put that ward down, spots the entire army of Ninjas in Pyjamas. It's an army now, I don't know, 5 men. Does that equate for an army? It's a platoon, I guess, maybe.
It's a sleepover, because they're in pajamas. Sorry. That was pretty bad. But either way, they're going to be going for this turret here. And they're not actually, they're not committing to it. And this is the whole style of playing in LCS versus scrims, where they're going to play a lot more passive, a lot more safe in LCS, which honestly, that's been what's making Alternate and MeetYourMakers and even the teams in North America like Cloud9 so strong. And Baron is actually going to be started here. Deficio, he does have an Oracle, and MeetYourMakers has no vision of this.
This is what you were talking about. So what you were saying, why didn't they put any wards down here? Not a single ward anywhere near the Baron. Ninja Pyjamas are going to pick this one up for free, and MeetYourMakers not even remotely close. Makata's kind of lumbering his way down there, but he is too late to the party. Ninja Pyjamas already have it, and they're going straight round back around that top. They may well find Makata straight away. Yes, they will. He is dead. There's no way he's going to dredge line away from that one. Flashes as well. You can see the chain of corruption brilliantly from Makler there. Does manage to catch the entire team. Flashed out of it, Maluno with that Cataclysm. They do manage to escape, but this is a 5-man Ninja Pyjamas Baron up team, while Charu continues to split push bottom.
I honestly don't even need to talk about what the chance of winning when you have Baron and Inhibitor down for a team, but having Maluno flash in and Cataclysm on Makler force his flash. That means he won't be able to escape away from Bjergsen if he gets on top of him, which is honestly huge. He's the big damage dealer along with Charu at this point, who is still trying to make the split push happen, but right now, if you lose another Inhibitor turret and an Inhibitor off of this, it's not going to be worth it. He's still sitting bottom right now. He's teleporting in.
He's teleporting in. There's going to be the Crow Storm, but not really landing, and Libic just gets shut down straight away. Now Makler does get caught in. Straight away stunned, as you mentioned, doesn't outflash, no way out of it. MeetYourMakers are just melting to the slicing maelstrom of Bjergsen. Another stun going on towards Kuban. Everybody from Ninjas in Pyjamas, they don't care about the top lane. They're going straight for the Nexus turrets, and this is going to be the game for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Fantastic stuff. The new lineup looking very good here against MeetYourMakers. The third place team in the LCS are suddenly sinking to Ninjas in Pyjamas.